dance floor. Now everyone report to the dance floor. Alright, stop. Pajama time. Come here, little kitties, on my lap. Guess who's back with a brand new rap? And I don't mean rap as in a new case of child molestation accusation. No worries, Papa's got a brand new bag of toys. What else could I possibly do to make noise? I done touched on everything but little boys. And that's not a stab at Michael, that's just a metaphor. I'm just psycho, I go a little bit crazy sometimes. I get a little bit out of control with my rhymes. Good God, dip, do a little slide. Bend down, touch your toes, and just glide up the center of the dance floor. Like TP for my bunghole, and it's cool if you let one go. Nobody's gonna know who'd hear it. Give a little poot poot, it's okay. Oops, my CD just skipped, and everyone just heard you let one rip. Now I'm gonna make you dance, get your chance. Yeah, boy, shake that ass. Oops, I mean girl, 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 girl. Girl, you know you're my world. Alright, now lose it. Just lose it. Go crazy. Oh baby, baby. It's Friday, and it's my day. Just to party, all the way to Sunday. Maybe till Monday, I don't know what day. Every day's just a holiday. Cruising on the freeway, feeling kinda breezy. Got the top down and my hair blow. I don't know where I'm going. All I know is when I get there, someone's gonna touch my body. Miss, I don't mean to sound like a jerk, but I'm feeling just a little stressed out from work. Could you punch me in the stomach and pull my hair? Spit on me, maybe gouge my eyes out. Yeah. Now what's your name, girl? What's your sign?
Man, you must be about your mind.
Dre, beer goggles flying. I'm just trying to unwind. Now I'm gonna make you dance. Get your chance. Yeah, boy, shake that ass. Oops, I mean girl, 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 girl. Girl, you know you're my world. All right, now lose it. Just lose it. Go crazy. Oh baby, baby. It's Tuesday and I'm locked up. I'm in jail and I don't know what happened. They say I was running butt naked down the street screaming. Right, I'm sorry, I don't remember. All I know is this much, I'm not guilty. They said save it, boy, we got you on tape. Yelling at an old lady to touch my body. Now this is the part where the rap breaks down. It gets real intense, no one makes a sound. Everything looks like it's 8 Mile now. The beat goes back and everybody lose the sound. Now snap back to reality. Look, it's B-Rabbit. Are you signing me up to battle? I'm a grown man. Chubba, 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 chubba. I don't have any lines to go right here, so chubba, chubba, chubby fellas. What? Fellas, grab your left nut, make your right one jealous. What? Black girls, white girls, skinny girls, fat girls, tall girls, small girls. I'm calling all girls. Everyone report to the dance floor. It's your chance for a little romance or blood squeezing. It's the season. Just go. So appeasing. Now I'm gonna make you dance. Get your chance. Yeah, boy, shake that ass. Oops, I mean girl, 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 girl. Girl, you know you're my world. All right, now lose it. Just lose it. Go crazy. Oh baby, baby. Touch my body. Touch my body. Oh boy, just touch my body. I mean girl, just touch my body.
What is up, everybody? How y'all doing today? Shut up, Eminem. Alright, we're gonna try this again. I don't know what happened. I lost connection. My whole house lost connection for like a couple of seconds. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. I don't know why it happened the first time. I was gonna reset the router, but then as soon as I got to the router, they're gonna retweet it. Ew, Mike, you're literally my simp, alright? Be quiet, alright? What is up, Harles Barkley? What is up, Wingski? What is up, Teddy? What is up, Yuki? Make sure you guys like and retweet the tweet. Let people know that I'm back on, because I know when you put up a second stream right after the first one, it kind of messes with the algorithm, and sometimes won't send out notifications, and that kind of sucks, because it's my first stream in a bit. So, yeah, worst possible thing to happen to me. Hope you guys like this Halloween devil art of me. That's something Planet made. It was on the Unholy parody. What is up, Ghost Shark? You should join us if you'd like. Buddy, you're my simp. Don't get it twisted. Okay, you're coping. You're literally coping. But anyways, I've got Nerdy John on call. We're going to bring him in. For now, I'm going to start. Oh my god, hold on. I'm getting a call. Give me a second. I'll bring in Nerdy John so he can talk to y'all. Yo, what's up, Nerdy John?
Yo, what's up?
Nothing much. Hey, I need you to keep my chat entertained. I'm getting a phone call.
All right, guys, just to let you know, okay, what you need to do is you need to unsubscribe from MikeTheBike's channel, okay?
This fake agent, I disagree.
No. Okay. And then, okay, what you do then is you unsubscribe from MikeTheBike, and then you subscribe to Nerdy John.
I mean, they can sub to both.
No, there can only be one.
No,
You don't
I work
understand.
for one man in this business, and it's Mike the Bike.
Everyone unsub from Nerdy John, okay? Fuck this guy. Fuck him and his gayness, alright? He's gay, I'm not, alright? That's all you need to know.
You're only half right, Mike the Bike.
Just some subscribe from
Yeah,
both.
he's not gay. He'll fuck anything.
You know what, just for that, every time you release art, I'm not gonna shout you out, Yuki. What do you think of that?
Yeah, Yuki.
Alright. So, we're gonna watch, I'm not on camera right now. I know I'm keeping away my beautiful face from you people, but the fact of the matter is, I'm in some raggedy ass clothes because I'm doing laundry right now, okay? So, I don't want you all to see me. But tomorrow, we are gonna be doing a drinking stream, alright? $10 a shot.
Excuse me?
Starting at 7 p.m. EST, ending around 10 p.m. EST. I'm ending it pretty early from normal because I do have to catch a plane Saturday. I'm actually gonna be in New Mexico for a week. But as for today, right now, we're gonna watch some of the Hasan versus Ethan stuff. I don't know how that's gonna go. And then
Bad.
I think around like 4:30 or something like that, there's supposed to be like a 15-minute thing from Comic-Con where the Spider-Man 2 game is gonna show off a bunch of the suits from the game, and I kind of want to see that. I don't know if they're gonna stream it or if they're gonna release it as like a big trailer, or if they're even gonna release it to the public. If they don't even release it to the public, then I guess. Fuck us, I guess. But yeah, this stream is gonna be pretty short, so let's just get right into it. I'm gonna be playing
Let's
No
just
Man's
jump into
Sky for the first time as a background game. So
Nice.
we'll see how that goes.
It's a kind of fun game. I don't understand how to play that well.
Oh, that doesn't sound good for me.
There's just a lot to do.
Oh shit. Is it a game that actually requires attention?
Not really, no.
Okay, then. Because I was about to
I
be
mean,
like,
probably to do some things, but to just like go around and fuck around on play, and it's not really.
Damn.
It just makes Go Shark's brain hurt.
All right.
I
so-
mean, living makes my brain hurt.
damn, it's so over.
What, bro?
All right, so let me grab everything. Pop that open, and then. Oh god, this game's louder than I want it to be.
To quote Mr. Krabs, "Pop that lean, Squiddy."
Does he say that?
I don't think he's ever said that.
Oh well, you don't know about Mr. Raps' rap career.
What happened to Starfield? Starfield won't run on my computer currently, so we have to wait until I can upgrade my computer.
It sucks anyway. I haven't even played it. It just looks bad.
Damn.
Oh, it's because of the pronouns. You don't like the pronouns, do you?
That's
No,
my
I
reason.
just don't like how uncanny
Or,
valley
we
every
called out.
character
I
in
have
fucking
I have
every
a
Bethesda
compilation
game looks.
of all the really fucked up shit
Gender
that
ambiguity.
Western politicians, mostly politicians, some here like this guy. I mean, this is a rally, you know. This is a pro-Israel protest in New York. I mean, just listen to what this guy has to say.
To my dick!
What do you think the response should be from Netanyahu and the military to Gaza?
Kill all Palestinians! All of them! Now,
Hey,
So,
exotics and
like,
shit.
that's crazy. Obviously, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's a
barbaric.
confidence to just say that
Exotic,
on
why don't you
camera.
talk to me anymore?
Yeah.
I thought we
I
were
mean,
cool.
Why would he? Why would
There
he
is
feel?
there is
Yeah,
a
what the
level
heck,
of comfort in
Exotic?
saying that,
Yeah.
more so than
Yeah,
saying.
he's got a life and a
What, kill all
job and
Israelis?
things
Yeah,
to
of
do.
course.
There's definitely way more
Wait.
acceptable
No
thing to
hesitation
say.
there, right?
Ethan
On
has the
camera.
same coke
Yeah.
I
No
have.
mask.
His
The thing
face is there. He's
the
probably
thing
got
is,
a
why
job.
would
Yeah.
he say that? Is that might
Coke
be
Zero?
a Kahanis
Yeah.
flag? I think too. The one that he's
is
putting
that?
on.
Good coke.
one left from the river to the sea.
I can't
Palestine
see.
will be deceased. And Israel need to do like this.
Oh, and then this
see?
whole
No.
shit. Yeah, I've heard
No, this
a
is
million
just
times.
this is just a gay stream of them being like, okay,
But
guys,
anyway,
so
so
like
that was one.
both
I just want
sides
to
are
blast through
bad.
these.
The flag. that
Yo,
I think
Teddy,
he's
thank you for the
the flag
$10.
that I think
Ghost
he's
Shark
waving
punched
is
a hole
Kahanis
into a
flag,
wall at his house when he
which
heard
is, of
pronouns in
course,
Starfield. So true.
The
No, I punched a hole in the wall at my
psychopathic
house for
terrorist
other
cult.
things, though.
Super far right.
led by the insane
Oh,
Meir Kahan, the rabbi, which Itamar Ben Gvir is a part of his cult and is a defender of.
Here is Lindsey Graham, the fucking demon.
By the way, that's a terrorist organization by American standards. Literally, America has declared that to be a terror organization, as a terrorist organization by Israeli
By the way, it's smart of them
standards as
to have
well,
the chat
and
disabled
that
for
is
this
the
stream.
reason why Itamar Ben-Gvir
Yep.
was not allowed to serve in the IDF. So remember that, like,
Oh, do
you
they
know,
have
no matter
chat
how
turned off?
conservative or no matter how ultra Zionist you might be, even Israeli conservatives are like, that's too far. That's
Can
too
anyone
fucked up.
explain to
Now
me
that
what
guy
the
runs
fuck a
police force,
Zionist is?
And Benjamin Netanyahu
It's
gave him a
Basically,
Praetorian
you're
guard,
anti-Arabic.
or said
That's
No,
for,
a Zionist is
offered him
basically
concessions
someone
on,
that,
building out a Praetorian guard specifically
I don't remember. Never mind.
for him.
Netanyahu's going
This
to be
game's
remembered.
what is this?
Like,
Is this the loading screen? Why am
the
I
man
just
who
going through
wanted this
space right now?
legacy of being
Yeah, it's
Israel's
loading. It
perpetual
takes a
soldier.
while.
He served for what, like
I don't have
13
patience for
years?
this. We're gonna play.
People are
going
gonna
to
spit on his fucking grave, dude.
But look at the cool
Anyway, here's
stars in the sky as
Yeah.
you
Lindsey
float through
Graham
space.
I ain't got
on
patience for
Fox
that.
News, international news, the most popular news show in America, I think.
We're in a religious war here. I am with Israel. Do whatever the hell
Israel.
you have to do to defend yourself.
Israel.
Level the place. We're in a religious
You know what, guys?
war.
I think it's time we play
Psychotic.
Spider-Man 2. What do you guys think?
But the first guy that we showed,
Would you get it
and,
early?
and what
You'll see.
he's saying is also exactly what's going on in Gaza. So that is why I always say there is no equivalence here. Like, there is
Just as much. And
Sorry.
there is no power or no, like, serious no genuine voice that is channeling this kind of wanton indifference and this kind of like callous celebration of, like, genociding all Jewish people, which is completely
does anyone have the clip of the
unjustifiable
Sydney
for,
stuff?
like, there is no equivalent on the there's no equivalent
I
on
know
the
what you mean.
Palestinian side.
You're right. You're right.
And
Th-
it's
th-
not
these are-
it's not represented in
these
the
are
media
like-
or reflected in any way at all.
I understand what you're saying. And the crazy thing here is that these people are posting it on their social media. This is Nikki Haley posted this on her YouTube. Lindsey Graham posted that clip. That motherfucker clipped that because it felt
he
like it was
posted it
clipped,
himself.
right?
Yo, what's up, Dust
He
Plains?
posted that on Twitter.
Yeah, that's
Bro,
Yo,
so
that's
great.
fine.
Hope you guys
not
like the
just-
stolen
it's not just
content.
Republicans, by the way. Democrats.
This
have
is-
By
said
the way, let's
similar-
get those likes up.
Democrats have said similar things as well. I mean, what's
up,
his
Cats
name
of
from the
Flockin'?
Problem Solvers Caucus?
Silence is
Gottheimer.
violence.
Josh Gottheimer.
Your silence in my
They were
DMs is
having they
violence.
were
That's
having
what
a
it is,
closed door
Yuki.
meeting, and he could be heard
Ooh.
screaming that, like, you know, all Muslims. What was it? That's a Democrat. Oh, here, I'll show you. I'll read.
Me- looking for it, too.
Meanwhile, here, let me play this Nikki Haley video.
I really hope
Message
Ethan's gonna
to
show the clips
Netanyahu.
of, like, people
what we
screaming
have to
"Gas the
understand
Jews,
is
gas the
this is
Jews."
the reason that we have to
Which
use
Oh, yeah,
side
that's
are
what I
you
was talking
on?
about, the Sydney
Make
clip.
it-
All right, I really don't know enough about, like, okay, if I'm gonna be serious for a second, which is not what any of you want, I just don't have enough of a political opinion on Palestine or Israel to give, like, any takes that deep.
Yeah.
But face front, I'm 100% against Hamas. Hamas is fucking evil, all right? The things they've done are evil. Like, I think Ben Shapiro, and I think Ben Shapiro is totally biased, so I'm not getting too much information off him, but he said a quote where it was like, at least the Nazis, and I'm only going to say this one time, but at least the Nazis had the courtesy to try and hide what they were doing. Hamas
Clip
isn't
that,
even
somebody.
trying to hide that. You know, like, Hamas are just fucking insane. That being said, I don't know about the particulars about what Israel has done or what Palestine has done or any of that stuff. But, like, what they're doing right now is just unacceptable. So are you saying they should nuke
Yeah.
that shithole? It's too small to nuke. It would fuck up.
I think
so
we
many
can
other
all
people.
agree that innocent civilians that have nothing to do with this on either side dying is a travesty and it's terrible.
No, yeah,
this
like
is how
it's
both
a-
sides are.
and the funny
this
thing
is how
is,
both sides are operating, though.
you don't
Like,
understand.
they
Ghost Shark.
they want
They had to attack
eliminate.
the festivals in order to
Yeah.
bring about peace for Palestinians.
Yeah, those festivals that were about peace in the Middle East. Yeah, we had to. We had to bombard
peace in the Middle
those.
East.
Maybe Hamas just hates music.
Well, Western music, that filthy.
What if they
Western
both die
music.
out? No more conflict. I don't know about that. I don't want everybody to die. All right.
Yeah, that
Ensure our
doesn't sound good
enemies
either.
Do not hurt our
I do have to say,
I just
also
want
looking
Gizmo
at
to
this,
win.
it strikes me as a little
Is he
bit
fighting?
silly
He's always fighting.
that they're showing.
What side is he on?
God damn it, so fucking slow. That they're showing like a, essentially a hole
Gizmo's
in
Chinese,
the ground
so you figure that out.
as evidence for,
Leveling the
damage,
city?
the damage that Hamas has done versus like the shots of Gaza, where like literally entire city blocks are demolished. It does strike me as a little fucking goofy.
Wait, hold on. Let me go back because I think Ethan just said something retarded.
America can never be so.
Yeah, it sounded
said
like it.
similar things as well. I mean, what's his name from the Problem Solvers Caucus? Gottheimer, Josh Gottheimer. They were having a closed door meeting, and he could be heard screaming that like, all Muslims. What was it? That's a Democrat. Oh, here, I'll show you. I'll read.
Meanwhile, here, let me play this Nikki Haley video.
I like how
Message to
Hasan had to
Netanyahu.
fact check
And what we
himself
have to
before he said
understand is
something real fucking
this is the
dumb.
reason that we have to unite around making sure our enemies do not hurt our.
I do have to say, also looking at this, it strikes me as a little bit silly that they're showing. Oh, God damn it, it's so fucking slow. That they're showing like essentially a hole in the ground as evidence for, the
Leveling the
damage,
city?
the damage that Hamas has done versus like the shots of Gaza, where like literally entire city blocks are demolished.
Okay, now that is fair. That from what I've seen, that the Israelis have like knocked down like city blocks and shit, or like at least whole ass buildings, right? But isn't it on Hamas that they literally put their bases and their weapons beneath civilian like spots? Like, is Israel just supposed to sit on their backs and be like, well, hopefully they'll move away from the civilians so we can attack them? Like, what? This is so retarded. Like,
No, yeah, it's the same, like it's the same tactics that the Nazis used during the last days of World War II, where they just put children and old men in the front lines.
yeah, and
in
didn't in the
in,
Vietnam
like,
War, didn't they literally use like children soldiers as like bombed, or was that the Korean War?
Well, they were not really child soldiers. They were just babies they would strap to mines.
Yeah, like it was crazy. Like, yeah.
So then you'd be like, oh, there's a poor crying baby, and then you'd pick it up, and then the mine would explode.
Yeah, was that Korean or Vietnam War?
Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
I think both, really.
You know what? It was Yuki's people. That's all we need to know, okay? Anyways, let's continue.
It does strike me as a little fucking goofy.
Sure, our enemies do not hurt our friends. America can never be so arrogant to think we don't need friends, just like we needed them on 9/11. That's why Ukraine needs us when Russia's doing this. That's why Israel needs us when.
There's like some playground politics.
That is the most
You need
disgusting.
friends.
That is
We
the most
need
disgusting
friends.
comparison. Like the fact that every fucking Ukrainian official has come out and been like, wow, what Palestinians are doing is exactly what the Russians are doing to Ukraine is so fucking. Oh my god, I don't even want to get into it. Okay, I
Let
don't
me
wanna
finish
talk
this
about
video.
that.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Hamas and Iran.
Oh, what was that?
And I'll say this to
Pro-Russia
Prime Minister
Hasan
Netanyahu,
really hating the
finish them.
Ukrainians right now?
Finish them.
What a
Hamas did this, you
surprise.
know,
What's
I
up,
mean, that's
Waynesky?
fucking crazy. And I mean, again, the result of this shit, of these terrorist attacks,
I
is
think he's
basically,
just a contrarian.
the world, the Western world, being like,
Every war that
"Here's your
starts,
blank
he
check to
takes
kill
the
as many
opposite
fucking
side.
Palestinians as you want."
He
And
takes whichever
so 9/11
side.
again, it's so scary.
It's
Hasan is gonna take whatever side
this is
America.
this only
is
works when
not on.
Against.
only
Yeah.
one side of the conflict gets coverage in the eyes of the American population. They would do this on Fox regardless. It only works because of the insanely Islamophobic sentiment that is just so commonplace since the post 9/11 universe that we exist in, and not only that, but also that's
Wait, I
why
thought
the
we lived in
conflation
an
of Palestinians and Hamas
anti-Semitic
is one that is by
post-world.
design, because the victims are still the Palestinians, not Hamas. And there's no way to effectively neuter or destroy Hamas
Hasan is the eternal opposition.
with
True.
an endless bombing campaign in Gaza.
Yeah.
The only way to
Pause it real quick.
the
Pause
only
it.
way to
Give me a second,
destroy
I'm fixing
the
my mic.
influence that Hamas has.
All right, what's up?
So, remember, because the people have argued that that black people have been really racist against white people, right? And the argument from the left has always been, well, no, because for one, white people outnumber black people, historical oppression, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jews are outnumbered by Muslims tenfold. I mean,
Yeah,
it
but
just,
the
like,
argument there would
it-
be that the country of Israel outnumbers
But
the
hang on,
Gaza.
hang on. Let me finish my point.
Okay.
Not even like let's even like discount World War II. The Jews have been blamed for were blamed for literally every single world disaster that had ever taken place. They were blamed for the Black Plague. They were blamed for the Crusades not succeeding. So like
What's
if
those
we're
goddamn weather machines, man?
yeah, they controlled everything. Yeah. So like if we're looking this if we're going purely off a victim like oh well like the true victims for all this like well I'm sorry historically Jews have been victims of both Christians and Muslims repeatedly throughout history.
Okay, but don't you understand that now we finally have a point where Hasan and Nick Fuentes can agree on?
I know that's the funny thing. No. Not even just Hasan and Nick Fuentes, Hasan and Sneeko.
True.
God, imagine when they all stream together.
Dude, we need that leftover podcast. Alright, let's continue.
Is by
Get
starving
Andrew
it
Tate
out.
on that podcast too.
And I don't mean literally by starving the entire Gaza Strip. Starving Hamas and ridding it of its influence requires you to treat Palestinians with dignity and offer them equality and follow through on the former promises that the international community has made and turned a blind eye to Israel not following their commitments on.
Fully agree with what you said. Like, again, it's important for everyone to acknowledge that Hamas is the result of, you know, Israel's treatment of the Palestinians. And it's just, you're right. If you, and I think it's obvious, but I guess people don't want to confront it, but the obvious solution is to don't give them a reason to turn to terrorists. You know, pretty obvious. But there it is. Here's Marco Rubio. There can be no ceasefire, negotiated solutions, or peaceful coexistence with depraved barbarians who murder teenage girls, children, the elderly, and then dump them in the streets of Gaza so bloodthirsty crowds can desecrate their bodies. It must be eradicated, and Israel must respond disproportionately, in all caps, to this and any future attacks from the enemy. I mean, what he's doing here is, like, the Hamas murderers are 1,000% barbarians who murdered children, teenage girls, which specifically he has a problem with. He goes, who murdered teenage girls? What about teenage boys? We don't care about them. Just like it's a weird focus. What, right?
Well, he's specifically. I think what he's referring to is the German
and
tourist who got killed.
So I'm going to raise an
Check his
eyebrow.
hard drive.
He just likes them, you know.
Yeah. By the way,
But to finish my point, he was saying he's conflating Hamas, who are bloodthirsty murderers, to justify killing Palestinians disproportionately. And again, like, I don't know if they, like the videos that I saw. That
I'm gonna
made
back
me-
up Ethan for a bit because I see Yuki says funny how Ethan changes positions. So Ethan has always been pro the people of Palestine and anti the government of Israel. So right now, that's what they mostly seem to be touching on. They haven't yet talked about as far as right now, they haven't talked about those people that are defending the actions of Hamas. I don't know if they're even going to bother getting into it because I feel like that is where Ethan and Hasan would argue, but Hasan's definitely going to downplay his own values when it comes to that part.
Emotional before of the Palestinian dad, you know, with his daughter, holding her like this, like she was like gray and fucking dead, like an 8-month-old baby,
Yeah.
like a beautiful newborn, innocent, beautiful child. Like I don't know if and he's this man. I don't know if Marco Rubio has ever seen anything like that, or if it would change him. But I can't imagine that seeing that would not have an impact on these fucking ghouls to see what they're actually wishing for.
It might not be impactful for Marco Rubio, but it certainly would be impactful for many people who are completely oblivious to what's going on, which is precisely the reason why that never gets any coverage. This isn't to say that like Israeli civilian casualties are acceptable or good. It's just that there is coverage
Thank you,
on
Hasan.
that endlessly, understandably, and never any coverage on.
You know, guys, I just want to
Gazans.
point out,
I've
you
talked
know,
about
killing's
another
bad.
aspect of
Okay,
this too.
killing's bad.
We in the Western world live in the comfort of the imperial core, and we live in a comfortable security blanket. So for us, if we live in like Connecticut or Iowa or whatever, of course we empathize significantly more with Israelis that were attacked by this horde of scary Muslims. Like, of course we empathize with that on a spiritual level because we can't understand the entire building blocks being removed. It is far too alien for us to comprehend the fear and the reality of that kind of devastation. We look at that and we go, oh, this is just like Baghdad, you know, which is an enemy that deserved it in the minds of Americans. So that is also another reason why I
Deserved
think Americans are
9/11.
immediately and unconditionally in support of, you know, the Israeli occupation.
Here's Ben Shapiro. I mean, no surprise here, obviously, but still.
Oh, he's been baying for blood nonstop.
I mean, here's a video. The UN Special Reporter for Human Rights in Palestine. We are horrified by what's happening, and we are calling for a truce. And here's a video of, you know, Gaza being bombed by missiles. And then Ben, in his infinite empathy and human nature, told them that they can fuck right off. And, like, this is such... All these people, but looking at Ben, I mean... It's such a lack of human empathy. It's like, it's just fucking evil, man. But there it is. That's Benny Boy. And one more. Again, no surprises here, but Charlie Kirk.
Hasan Israel already.
These people betray principles of Judaism and centuries of Jewish history of always siding with those who have been oppressed, always being at the forefront of social justice and fighting for emancipation for all people. It's really, really, really disgusting to see that. 100%.
I didn't want to read this one. So, basically, showing all these goals, feeling very comfortable with no pushback, expressing their desire for genocide in Western media. Here is an Israeli. Hold on, who said this? Okay, so here it is in Hebrew. This was from an unnamed defense official told Israel's Channel 13 that the Palestinian territory, home to more 2 million residents, would be reduced to rubble. Quote, Gaza will eventually turn into a city of tents. There will be no buildings. The ground maneuver will surprise Hamas, the official said in a stark warning to the terrorist group behind the weekend assault that killed more than 1,200 Israelis.
I mean, the Israeli defense minister literally said, we're shutting off the electricity, we're shutting off the food supply.
I don't understand
And we're shutting off the water into Gaza because we're fighting human animals, or a better translation, I think, was beasts. Like, but ultimately, though, that's collective punishment. It is a violation of the Geneva Suggestions. I don't want to call it conventions. This has happened for far too long. You can't attack the press. You can't attack, medics. They killed. There was the Red Crescent guy who was crying in his ambulance because he could not. He had seen far too much death and destruction. And a couple hours later, he got bombed. They allowed him to enter a site of the rubble, a site of the bombings, and they bombed him and killed him. Like a couple hours later.
Okay, so.
Directly just a violation.
At this time, I want to turn my attention to some of the very evil takes I've heard some prominent folks making about Israelis. Here is one such example of a dude, and this guy is very popular. He has 1.6 million subscribers.
Oh, shit, is he going to get into the
very popular
the good stuff?
Political YouTuber
I can't see anything.
called Second Thought. Sorry, this.
Oh yeah, he's my friend. I like JT.
All right, well then. You tell me what you think about this. He said, what's going on in occupied Palestine is unprecedented. No doubt we'll have wall.
Is it on? Wait, hold on. I don't have my glasses today.
It's just the.
I'm not going to be able to see it. I just had to click on it. So
Let him
Does
read
he
it.
ever have it?
Let him read it.
I
I don't have my glasses today.
Here, you know what? Let me show you this.
Is it on the Google Doc?
Let me show you the video first. This will be easier for you. He basically says the same thing here. So here he is doing a podcast.
I've been on. I think is this Deprogram? I've been on the podcast.
I don't know what it's called, but this is just a clip from. Yes.
Yeah.
So here's his take on this, and let's listen.
And fight off much. Is
What's up, JC?
Take civilian hostage, or is that fake news? I don't care.
Yeah, the occupiers
I don't,
are not civilian.
First of all, just straight off the bat.
The person that's talking is Hakim. He is a doctor in Iraq, and of course, just to put this into a decent frame of reference for those who are unfamiliar, I think he will probably have a much more ruthless position on the matter, considering how he feels about American forces and what they've done to his.
This I'm pretty sure is all Second Thought.
No, the one who said.
No, I know. But
Yeah.
Here.
And fight off much. Did the Palestinians actually take civilian hostage, or is that fake news?
So wait, who's talking there?
That's Hakim.
Fake
Okay,
news.
so Second Thought's the one who says, I don't care, and laughs.
Wait, say it.
I don't care.
This
No,
guy.
that's Hakim.
I don't.
The guy with the accent.
Yeah, that's Hakim. Second Thought is an American.
So Second Thought is the guy who's asking the question.
No, Hakim is the one who read it. He's reading it from chat. It's a super chat.
Did the Palestinians actually take civilian hostage, or is that fake news?
What's up,
I
Johnny?
don't care.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he agrees with him, so let's just fucking listen
go
to
on.
the clip.
The occupiers
I
are
don't-
not civilians. That is what it comes down to. Like if imagine
French-
like if
Sorry, go on.
Germany, let's say Germany to be non.
That's him, right?
I think. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Controversial.
And not that it matters.
invaded United States, and they said, you know what, Cincinnati, Ohio is our ancestral home, and everyone knows that's blatantly false. But they
Oh,
take
yeah.
your home, they
No
murder
shit.
your grandma, they bulldoze like your neighbor's house. Are those
Florida's
people
my
civilians there?
ancestral
No, they're
home.
occupiers, and those are criminals. That is, there are no civilians there. And
So-
it was
so-
clear.
pause it.
They're
according to second
terrorists.
thought,
Mm-hmm.
he says that every Israeli is an occupier, and there are no citizens there. In response to decapitating
there are
babies,
two
which I
different
can now say.
there are two different schools of thought here. So
Okay,
first
let's hear
is-
Hasan
and the
explain
taking the
this.
comments is based.
yeah, of course. The 1948ers
Of course, it's based.
believe that there's two
You
different
mean
schools of thought.
49ers?
I would say anti-Zionism. Those who believe that all matter of
Fucking
settlements that were
5-year-old
propped up even in the inception of the
colonizers.
Israeli
Yeah,
nation
Teddy.
state are unjustifiable, and that they are settlers. So they extend beyond your perspective that you agree with, which
just
is
because-
West Bank is a settler occupation.
I think it's an extremely evil thing to say. What he said.
Let me ask you this.
No. What do you think? What he said is evil?
I think it is, one, unproductive, and two, it does not meet the realities on the ground, and it's not a viable solution.
So calling,
God.
just to be clear, calling babies
No, of course not.
settlers.
Of course,
And they're not even living.
They're not.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
they're
Okay.
babies.
So I
Now,
just want to
listen,
say,
listen,
I just
have
want
a
to
question for
say
you. I have a
that this
question for
guy's a fucking evil piece of shit for saying that.
Can I ask you a question?
Can I finish? Let me finish the
Okay,
video.
we'll
Yeah.
finish this, but I do
Yeah.
have a question for you. I think you're
Hasan
gonna
is
something
like
I'm about to say.
sweating
Yes.
bullets
Let's
trying to
just
get
finish it
through
and then we'll
this.
talk.
Invaded the United
And
States.
he's like,
they said,
"Oh,
you know
but-
what,
but-
Cincinnati,
but let me
Ohio
explain."
is our ancestral home, and everyone knows that's blatantly false. But they take your home, they murder your grandma, they bulldoze like your neighbor's house. Are those people?
Also, that's not
civilians there? No, they're
like
occupiers.
it's not
Those people
intentionally
are criminals.
false.
That is, there are no
Judaism got
civilians
started
in
in the Middle
military
East.
occupation.
Even
So
like
that's number one.
the fact of the
That's
matter
so
is
callous.
that it doesn't
It's kind of
actually
hard
even
to fuck-
matter. It doesn't even matter if, like, let's say 20 years ago is when Israel took over. It doesn't fucking matter. Any baby born there has no fault in what happened in the past. You can't justify atrocities committed in the present by actions taken in the past. Even if Israel were literally Nazis like 60 years ago, like, if someone went to Germany and started massacring a bunch of Germans, would we be like, well, they were Nazis at one point, so yeah, kill them all, they were evil at one point. It's like, no, the actions
They were born evil.
like the actions
Kill them
of-
all.
like, it's the same way, like, if like a group of Native Americans decided to get together and start murdering a bunch of like white Americans, that would not be justified. Even though I saw some unhinged Twitter people being like, if someone decided to burn down my house and rape my family, I mean, I really couldn't complain because, we did take their land. It's like, no, that's that's not how society works. That's not, you can't run based off that logic, because in that case, we would be in an endless bloodbath. Because every single civilization on this planet, has committed horrible atrocities throughout time.
Well, also too, he's like Hasan briefly mentioned the West Nile land that was taken. Yeah, that was taken after after what was it? Egypt, Palestine, and a third country,
Lebanon.
Lebanon. They all attacked Israel at once to try and get rid of them once and for all.
Yeah.
And they failed, and
That was
Israel
the
managed to
6-day
take some
war,
land,
right?
which they offered back, by the way, and it was rejected.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Let's continue.
Can even believe just how flippant he can be about calling babies militants that are deserving to be killed.
Well, he
Very
didn't
useless.
specifically
Number
say
two,
babies.
Much more importantly, the track record of Palestinians has been.
He was just, like, talking in
thousands of
general,
times
you
better
know?
than
He was
that
just
Israeli
saying about,
occupation.
like,
Despite
the
fact
general
Israeli
people that live
occupation
there.
does not need to brutalize. They already have all the power.
Yeah.
But they still choose to do far worse.
Even I don't
The
want to
war
admit
cell
my
has
country
a
hasn't.
person in
Every
Palestinian
country's done
custody
terrible
that are gonna be,
things. America,
like auctioned off for a
Cuba,
prisoner swap, which
Peru,
is a
every
historic
country
track
that
record
exists
also.
has done
And
terrible
And of
things.
course,
He's not wrong about
That's
this.
human
This is
history.
Except
the
Little
goal for
Islands.
the
Except
military,
Sweden, probably.
The
And Canada.
No, Sweden,
Sergeants,
no.
at least
They're
if you
evil.
believe
I'm not exactly having a ton of faith in the dudes that decapitated babies to treating their POWs really well.
Well,
I think that's kind of a psychotic take too, where
Okay.
it's like it's like, why are you trying to give Hamas the benefit of the doubt on this one? Being like, oh, they treat their prisoners fucking awesome.
Benefit of the doubt. Agree to
Let's
disagree.
It might not be
let's
too
just,
bad,
Let's not try to do that.
okay. So
But anyway, and that combined with just the callous, the laughter.
you're
Send
listen.
photos,
Hold on.
Thank you for the $10, Teddy. I greatly appreciate that. By the way, big shout out to anyone who ends up donating for the very few streams that are going to happen in this month. I'm pretty much busy a good portion of the month, so very few streams this month, but we'll be kicking back up the streams in November. And just like I did last year, December, we are doing daily streams. Every day of December, I will be doing a stream, even if it's like a really short 1 hour one on Christmas, every day. Anyways, he wasn't talking about babies. He was talking about Sally, who was walking her dog of terror. True.
I know the dog named Princess.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're laughing about it.
Let me pose a question for you.
Go ahead.
So you have said that those in the West Bank are fundamentalist settlers. Are you familiar with the international law surrounding the
Jesus Christ,
the justifiable forms of violence towards?
So first of all,
terrorism?
I don't put any stock, frankly, in whatever these quote international laws are.
Yeah, it's.
But no, I'm not familiar with whatever that says.
Technically, the reason why the IDF has to exist in the West Bank and behave in the oppressive manner that they behave is because Palestinians, and this is going to sound very radical and possibly very violent, but this is a matter of law, and maybe even if you agree with this, a matter of morality. Palestinians have the legal ground to violently seize back their own homes from the settlers. This is a reality, and that is precisely the reason why they have to exist under endless occupation in the West Bank.
You know what? And that's why I say, if it was settlers, that would be a lot more understandable. But let's not obfuscate, okay? I understand what you're saying, but this dude just called babies militants.
No, I understand. And there are baby settlers as well. But there are baby settlers as well. There are babies in the settlements.
But the babies they killed were not.
I know.
Okay, so
here's
now that
we
the-
established
Wait, if the babies were the settlers, does that mean they were
Even if the
justified?
babies, but
that's what Hasan's trying to get
that's
at.
what he's implying. But the fact of the matter is, even if babies were settlers, look. Considering what I assume Hasan's opinions on abortion, I would assume he doesn't think babies have much ability to think in the first place. But maybe he has more faith in babies than me, because I don't think a baby can actively consent to being a settler or consent to anything, period. Okay? I just died.
No, you don't understand. It's the settler. It must die.
God, he's so fucking retarded.
The other school of thought is that all matter of Israelis living on Israel proper are they're also doing the exact same thing in the eyes of some. I do not.
By the
agree
way, if
with that
anyone's
because
keeping
I
a
don't
track
think
on
that
like
is
Spider-Man 2 news,
reasonable
keep me
solution,
updated.
and it's not realistic
be updated
anyway,
on
and that
anything that
only
happens today.
will lead to the complete evisceration of Palestinians, and far-right Israelis will use that to continuously radicalize just regular Israeli citizens in their endless bombing campaigns and ethnic cleansing campaigns and the brutal occupation. This is why many thinkers, I believe even including Norm Finkelstein, who has dedicated his entire life to speaking the truth about Israel's occupation.
The
and
only
Noam
other
Chomsky
nigga I know that's named Finkelstein is the guy
and
from The
many
Night
others, even
Before
Edward
Christmas.
Said, as I brought up earlier,
Oh my
believe
God,
that
Mike, no.
the de-Zionification or the displacement of Israelis from Israel proper, Jewish Israelis, is it's not justifiable and it's not realistic. It's more so a single state solution, at least one that I advocate for, because I know a lot of people advocate for a two-state solution. I'm a one-stater, which
Was there a question?
What?
I thought you said I have a question for you at the beginning of that.
I gave you the question. You already answered it. You said I know your position on like violently seizing back your land from settler occupiers.
And notice how you say he's for a one-state solution there. So he's
no,
for
these guys,
Jews
or at
being
least
kicked out of their
on
home.
second thought, has
Again,
the
but
perspective that
Hasan,
all matter
very
of
very
Israel is,
anti-Nazi, by
all
the
matter
way.
of
Yeah, literally. He's like, yeah, wait, the
Nice.
one-state solution is literally just one of them owning the whole thing, right?
Yeah, no, exactly, and he's obviously very anti-Palestinian. I mean, not anti-Palestinian. Sorry, anti-Israeli. He's very anti-Israeli.
Honestly,
so obviously he wants all Jews to be kicked out of their homeland, so that he's literally advocating for what the exact thing Nazis did.
honestly, what I think is probably going to end up happening is what Destiny suggested, which is that they're probably going to have to give Gaza fully back to the Palestinians. Give back the what's the other place that they have occupied?
The West Nile. Are you talking specifically about the West Nile?
I think so. Give that back as well, but then there's gonna have to be like a peace pact where the U.S. gets involved, and the U.S. is literally like, okay, look, they're gonna give you this back, and you guys are gonna have full control and everything. However, now like Israel's gonna be part of like NATO or whatever other like team up with America. And if you guys fuck with them, we're gonna have to fuck with you guys back. Like something like that's probably gonna have to happen. I don't see it ever ending otherwise. Because the only reason why, from what I understand, the only reason why Israel doesn't want to give anything back is because every time Israel has given stuff back, they take that and it's like, okay, it's time to fucking destroy the rest of the Jews. It's like, oh fuck, okay, maybe we shouldn't have given you guys anything back.
You know, like what Tommy said, yeah, I forget
The West
who he
Bank,
said
that's
exactly
what it is,
said
the
it.
West Bank.
But yeah, if Israelis laid down their arms, they all be slaughtered. If Palestinians laid down their arms, there would be peace.
I don't know. The thing is that I don't know how true that is because the Palestinians do have like Ben Shapiro. He has like a lot of info, but he's obviously extremely biased. I don't think the Palestinians also just like Hamas. Fuck Hamas. Hamas should be eradicated. But the Gaza and the Palestinians that live in Gaza that aren't necessarily part of Hamas, I don't think they want to just totally give up control to Israel either. Like they want to, I'm sure they want to have their own control over their like area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we wouldn't want like Florida, for example, to be controlled by Mexico, for example, right? As America, we would want full control of that area.
Well, they prefer having their own country, but you know, that's them.
Those damn. Okay, anyways, let's continue.
I like Froki's suggestion, by the way. Just gonna say it.
No, what was her suggestion?
Froki.
Oh, Froki? Oh, okay, we're gonna ignore that.
Israel proper.
Actually, you know what? No, deport the Californians. Deport them to Australia. Australia deserves them.
Oh,
Is considered
man, that's gonna be
settler
like a
occupation.
nightmare
Which,
scenario.
No, put them in the desert.
He is right after babies were
Send them
murdered
to
and
Detroit.
decapitated.
all
I
I'm,
can say that
it's
now.
not 19,
Let me read this further.
if he said this in 1949, I'd have a different opinion on the matter.
Let me
you can't say
read
this in 2023. I agree.
Let me read this.
Why?
Thank you
Why even bring that up? If you said this in 1949, I'd agree with it. Okay, cool. Thanks for avowing it. If it was over.
Wait, what is he
50 years
avowing
ago,
exactly? Sorry.
I think they're still talking about the statement from the South Point guy. And he's like, if it was 1949, I'd agree with it. But yeah, it's unacceptable in 2023. It's like, thanks for.
So the Jews lost their victim status. Okay, they it only took what?
I'm waiting to hear
almost, 80
Tipster's opinion
years?
on this. My question is, Mike, when does it end? Even if they give their bang, I feel like they wanted the Jews dead. They're gonna want the Jews dead. That's why I think Israel's gonna have to like come up with a NATO. Join NATO or have a NATO type deal.
I thought they were already part of NATO. Was I wrong?
They're not officially part of NATO. We are like allies, but they're not officially part of NATO.
Okay.
He is right after babies were murdered and decapitated.
All
I
I'm
can say that
it's
now.
not 19
Let me read this further.
Oh
If he said
no,
this in
not the
1949,
babies.
I'd have a different opinion on the matter.
Let me
you can't
read
say this
this.
in 2023. I agree.
Let me read
So
this. Thank you
stupid.
for agreeing. What's going on in occupied Palestine is
Thank you for
unprecedented. No
agreeing.
doubt we'll have wall-to-wall coverage of atrocities now that it's the genocidal settlers on the receiving end. This is what liberation struggle looks like. Solidarity and victory to the Palestinian people. Again, just to put the timing in frame here, he says, no doubt we'll have wall-to-wall coverage when Israel responds. This is while bodies are still bleeding.
Well, I guess the second part did come true. He wasn't wrong on the second part of that conversation, at least. Okay.
But solidarity and victory to the which part are you referring to?
Wall-to-wall coverage when Israel responds.
Right, but like, and this is my problem. So as the bodies are fucking still bleeding out, and he's saying this is what liberation struggle looks like: beheading babies, burning families alive, solidarity and victory to the Palestinian people. This is pro-Hamas. This man is supporting Hamas.
I think his position is that people that have been trapped, and I can't speak for him, but you can if you want to talk to him. I'm sure he would be willing to come on and speak his piece. I've already mentioned that I don't find this to be particularly helpful or productive as far as this conversation goes. Not because like I am tasked with defending the positions of other people or even criticize them.
He's
It's more
being
so
because you
that,
don't want to look bad.
we
He's
know
being
what is
so
currently happening.
fucking careful,
We are
and I understand
now 3-4
why.
days
But
removed
it's
from
so
October 7th,
cowardly.
and we know what the retaliation looked
Well,
like.
it's 'cause
and
it's
we know
obvious what his
the
position is.
occupation has
That
looked
was
like every
obvious.
single day.
That was an obvious reaction.
So that's why I'm saying,
again,
that's what I'm saying. Like a
timing matters.
YouTuber with
Hold on, this guy's influential.
No, I know, Ethan, but his influence is nothing in comparison to the multi-billion-dollar media
I
operation.
just want to call this guy out. That's what I want to do.
You can call him out.
I just spent
And you can ask
2.5
him-
hours calling out Israel. So now this guy, second thought, he's supporting Hamas. He is pro Hamas. That's what
call him out.
Hold on.
Okay.
Solidarity and victory to the Palestinian people. Again, the timing that I keep mentioning, as bodies are being counted, is pro Hamas. That's it. That's
What
it.
is he
There's no other way to
grabbing?
interpret that, and it's evil.
Oh, I
He
think they have their
continues,
dogs running
Imagine
around when
someone
they
comes
do
to your
this
town, murders
podcast,
your
so
neighbors,
that's probably
kicks you out of the home
like,
your
what the
family
fuck
lives
is
in
he doing?
generations,
Poor
and
doggos.
relocates
Poor
you.
doggos.
Are those occupier civilians? No, they're criminals and accomplices in genocide. Once again, referring to babies
How funny. Imagine if
who
Hassan
were
just like,
decapitated.
punched
But
his
like another
dog.
man, 40 babies died at this kibbutz. Okay, kids also, children, families, peaceful.
Okay, we need to go
kibbutzim.
back to 2016 politics. We need to send Trump to build
Many
the wall,
of them
but around
actually
Israel.
pro Palestine.
Thank you for the $5, Teddy.
advocates. He said that they are criminals and accomplices.
Okay, we don't know if they were pro-Palestine advocates.
For
Let's not go that far.
what?
Wait,
That's
what do you-
that's positive. That's
What
you think that none of the people killed were.
I mean, I don't know that. I'm saying, like, I don't know why you're adding that. It doesn't even matter because
Huh?
ultimately,
No, it
ultimately
does
they
matter.
Still
He's
died.
co-
They shouldn't die.
Okay,
That's
right.
my position.
But it does make it especially ironic when he's calling them accomplices in genocide when their only crime is being born somewhere.
No, I agree with you.
It's evil. I just
no,
want to say that.
I agree with you.
Okay, good.
I don't disagree with you on this at all.
Thank you.
But that's not my. But
What the? Why
Bro,
would
I'm
they
just
spawn
calling
me
it out.
right in front of a
okay,
guy?
This guy's a
call it
fucking-
out, but
he's a
you have,
scumbag.
if you want, you have the opportunity. You can speak to him if
Okay,
you want on this
well, I'll think
on this
about it.
particular issue.
I'll think about it. But
So
just-
I don't know why like you're.
I'm not demanding you respond, but I simply, as a matter of doing the show, want to call out the people that disgusted me. Because again, I hear this all the time. People go, "Oh, really? Well, show me an example."
I know, but
Well, here's one.
no, of course, there are examples of this. It's just entirely and utterly inconsequential, and I 100% stand by that.
It's not.
Absolutely
He's
not.
influential, man.
Absolutely not. The guy has. Ethan said before. What does this guy have? Like 1.6 million subscribers. He's saying this,
So he
and
has
he's getting
influence.
massive support. Hold on. Let's go back to how many likes that had. How many likes did he have on that? He had 5,000. He had 8,000 likes, 190,000 views, 1,000 retweets. Some of them are probably quote tweets, and only 53 comments. He's not even close to getting ratioed on this opinion. He's getting mass support on these takes. Like, absolutely not. This is not 2015, 2013. This is not like 10 years ago, okay? The stuff that happens on Twitter every year is becoming more of a reflection of what people think IRL. Now, again, I think you'll only get the most radical people online, but that's still a very scary sentiment that people have been saying the crazy things they've been saying about the attacks, and they're getting mostly support, right? Like, that's kind of insane. And for Hasan to be like, oh, it doesn't matter compared to the billion-dollar conglomerates, it very much does. It doesn't matter how much money these companies are making. Bro, Hasan easily probably gets more views than Fox News. Like,
Nowadays, yeah.
yeah, nowadays.
I don't know that. I'm saying, like, I don't know why you're adding that. It doesn't even matter because
Huh?
ultimately,
No, it
ultimately
does
they
matter.
Still
He's
died.
co-
They shouldn't die.
Okay,
That's
right.
my position.
But it does make it especially ironic when he's calling them accomplices in genocide when their only crime is being born somewhere.
No, I
You know,
agree with
Ethan's
you.
going to
I
apologize to
agree
the
with
stream
you. I
afterwards,
don't disagree.
right?
No, Ethan has not been apologizing on his takes as of late because
Yeah, you better never double down on it. Or like,
he's not apologized for his when he was fighting against the socialists. He hasn't apologized. Like, he's not, like, he used to apologize for other stuff because it wasn't that crazy, but I think now he's seeing how crazy. And honestly, even I've seen people say, "Oh, you reaped what you sowed, Ethan." Honestly, I don't actually think most of the crazy shit is coming from Ethan's audience. I think it's coming from the audience he's inherited from Hasan. I think all the crazy communists, because there are a lot of people that are far left that still aren't like socialist or anything like that. Like, they'll be social democrat, but all like the commies and the pro-Chinese and the pro Hamas people, those all come from Hasan's audience. I don't think that's an audience that Ethan developed. Like I don't think Ethan went that far left to where I would put full blame on him.
I disagree with you on this at all.
Thank you.
But that's not my. But
Bro, I'm just calling it out.
okay,
This
you
guy's
can
a
call it
fucking-
out, but
he's a
you have,
scumbag.
if you want, you have the opportunity. You can speak to him.
And
on
and you
that.
notice here's the funny thing. Hasan's getting super defensive, and Ethan's like, you heard what he said right there. Let's go back. He said, that's not my position.
Calling it out.
Okay,
This guy's a fuck. Thank you.
But that's not my. But
He was about to say that's not my position. Ethan isn't saying that's your position. He's calling out other people. The reason why Hasan, I was looking at the camera as if my camera was on. The reason why Hasan is taking that personally is because that is his position. He's had these same positions before. I haven't looked at his liked tweets, but apparently Hasan's liked tweets. Let's check right now. Apparently his liked tweets are actually insane. Come on, X, load for me.
No, he doesn't want to say it, but he's like, well, I mean, he kind of did, but not. He's not. He won't explicitly say it. He is for a one-state Palestinian, like a one Palestinian state solution where all the Jews are slaughtered.
I don't. I'm not gonna go as far as to say Hasan wants the Jews slaughtered, but he wouldn't care if they died in the conflict, and he would prefer if they just get moved somewhere else.
Because guys, if you remember, what the Nazis were initially saying is, oh, we just want the Jews to, we just want them out of here. We just want them to go away.
Is like Twitter down? Like why is it not loading for me? How many people we got?
One sec.
How many people we got watching?
Let me
right now?
check I can check
Damn.
Hasan's Twitter.
Hold on a second. We got 22 people watching, but we only have 4 likes. Come on, guys. Let's get up to 11 likes. All right, anyways.
Make sure you subscribe as well.
Subscribe to
Oh
my.
no.
All right.
Hasan is trending.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Okay.
Hasan.
So I'm gonna share my. Oh, you got it back up. Okay.
Yeah, it's on.
Hasan Abi.
You're not following Hasan Abi? What the heck?
I'm not following a lot of people. It's my Great Street account. The contrast between the boundaries of discussion in the country that fetishizes allyship with Israel and the boundaries of discussion on actual. Okay, let's see. I don't really want to say something as a Jew, but I'm thinking about writing a longer piece about all this. An interesting conversation with my brother the day Hamas attacked. He's in rabbinical. Well, I think I might. Okay.
Basically, he's becoming a rabbi.
People sometimes talk about people. I don't know. I'm trying to find like because I heard there was some unhinged shit. I'm trying to find that. Oh wow, we got to 10 likes immediately. Thanks, guys.
The magic of saying like the stream.
Praying for Israel. Justin Bieber posting praying for Israel using picture of a destroyed Gaza is actually insane. People have to use images of Gaza and Palestinians because Israelis, usually attending parties or in high-end shelters, they have the technology to intercept missiles before they touch ground, as well as nationalize healthcare. Okay, maybe Justin Bieber should have posted the picture of the charred baby that was set on fire. Maybe he should have posted the picture of like the blood stains in the bedrooms. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're acting like I'm sure there are like rich people in Israel that can avoid all the conflict or whatever. That is not the case.
I'm sorry, wouldn't there be rich people in Palestine as well?
I'm trying to find more. The most prominent. Okay. Girl got me making decisions like Netanyahu ignoring intelligence. Oh, okay. So Hasan's liking a tweet that's basically. So there is this rumor that apparently Netanyahu and the Israeli government knew that an attack was coming and they did nothing about it on purpose. So glad to see that Hasan probably believes that.
I do.
Good one. We'll talk about virtue signaling, but this is actually it. I don't even understand what that is.
Geography.
Bro, what the fuck are we doing? Pearl Harbor exclusive collection. That's base.
Jesus.
Maybe the crazy tweets from like October 9th. I heard from like Destiny's chat and from like a lot of people that he was liking some unhinged shit. So if anybody can find me like some crazy stuff that Hasan's liked, I have a shit ton of mods. If any of you guys find it, y'all can post it here. All right, let's continue. All right, enough of the lo-fi. Let's get back to this.
Bro, I'm just calling it out.
Okay.
I was happy for a second.
If you want, you have the opportunity to
Goodness.
speak to him on this particular issue.
I'll think about it. But
so I don't know why like you're.
I'm not demanding you respond, but I simply, as a matter of doing the show, want to call out the people that disgusted me. Because again, I hear this all the time. People go, "Oh, really? Well, show me an example."
I know, but
well, here's one.
No, of course there are examples of this. It's just entirely and utterly inconsequential, and I 100% stand by that.
It's not. He's influential, man. When you're
Yeah,
expressing these kinds of
okay, let's walk through that. What do you think is the negative consequence of this? Do you think that people are going to see this and go,
But like
oh,
also
I
too,
should go to
do
the
I not care about it?
people would point
think
at
that if
channels
you look
with
at the
way less
reality,
subscriber
and I
numbers
know you
as
recognize
like
it,
influencing the alt-right neo-Nazis. So
yeah, these same people would be like,
either
oh, you can't
YouTubers
debate
have
any
influence over people, or they can't, or they don't. You gotta pick one.
Hasan is the same person that'll be like, oh, I can't debate anybody that's on the alt right because by doing that, I'm gonna allow them to influence people.
YouTuber saying this kind of thing and spending any time or any effort on this when your moral position is clear, when mine is clear, spending any time on this whatsoever to be like, we got to clean up our own homes here, deviates from the actual message that must be unflinching. The message is that these violent means of ensuring that the occupation continues is going to inevitably lead to more violence that Israelis will be subjected to as well.
Normalizing murdering civilians.
He has no capacity to do so.
And the result of that,
I think a better argument would be that it's anti-Semitic. You could say that, well, not what he's saying, but that it could lead to people listening to what he's saying and then think that like all Jews are responsible.
Okay,
and
so
think
it's
that, like,
consequential. The stuff that he's saying matters.
That would
but
be,
my point is, if I can
He's
finish
not
my point,
saying
is that
something
this guy who
anti-Semitic
proposes to be
necessarily,
such
but
a
it could
Palestinian
lead
advocate
to it. I
is
mean, but I'm not
encouraging
anti-Semitic.
the murder of civilians.
How do I get this guy
babies,
to stop
etc.,
shooting me?
In an effort to free the occupation.
I don't think he's encouraging it. I think he's justifying it.
No. No, he says, hold on. No, he says this is what liberation struggle looks like. What's the liberation struggle about murdering families? But I wanted to say this. This guy who purports to care so much about Palestine, his advocating for killing civilians, the result of that is going to be basically what's happening in Gaza now, which is that Israel, which is, again, genocidal, violent, psychopathic people in power, it's like the result of this is Netanyahu gets more power and consolidates when people already fucking hated him. The international community that was giving a lot of general support for Palestine and Gaza and all that, there was a lot of I know you were going to debate me. There was a lot of sentiment, especially in Europe, for being like, yo, we need to.
Ethan,
we need to look at this
entire planet. The entire planet has regularly condemned the illegal occupation time and time again. You know who has said fuck off to that? The United States of America and Israel and sometimes Ukraine. So it does not matter what the condemnation even looks like. It doesn't change anything. Palestinians.
Let me finish my
point. Okay, go ahead. Finish your point.
Ooh,
the point is.
Can Ghost Shark say something? Ghost Shark left. He said he'd be back.
The result of
later.
these people are pro-Palestine.
Gotta go get cigarettes.
Is literally the opposite of
Dad
any
wants to get
intended
cigarettes.
consequence, which is Netanyahu gets more power internationally and domestically when people already fucking hated him and his government. The Western countries are basically backing up Israel's genocide and encouraging it and sanctioning it. The Gazans are now being bombed. Their food, power, water is being shut off, although that happens regardless at times.
Always.
But so like
if the argument here is that if Second Thought had not tweeted this, or if other YouTubers and other people on Twitter had not tweeted their celebrations, that do we think that the world's perspective would be different on Israel's bombing campaign currently? If you think that, like, legitimately, if not a single person had tweeted this, do you think that the situation on the ground would be different?
Does it matter to you that this might be anti-Semitic?
Oh, wait, what do you mean?
Well, you're saying you're treating this as if it doesn't matter at all, and that's
yes,
you're not.
I don't think it matters at all.
And you're not Israeli.
Yeah, I don't think.
But it matters if they're anti-Islam.
Hold on. Your point.
Answer my question.
Go ahead.
Please. Let's say JT and Hakeem or any number of different Twitter users had not been so callous in their indifference for civilian casualties in this situation. Not a single person had tweeted anything. Do you think that there would be more support for Palestinians?
Obviously not, but listen to
so
what
why
I'm
are we
saying,
having this
bro.
conversation then?
He's influencing people. He's not. Is this tweet going to change what's happening on the ground? No.
No, of course
But these opinions being broadcast by respected people in politics is going to contribute to fucking more violence. He is.
In what regard?
Because people
Like, do
who
you think
sympathize
Palestinians
with him are gonna be like, yeah. I mean, he's basically.
Do you think
he's
Palestinians are going to see JT's
no, the
tweets?
acceptance of people, and that's fucking anti-Semitism, bro.
The acceptance of what people?
The acceptance of people internationally who look at this guy saying, "Let's fucking kill all the Israelis because they're all occupiers."
I don't agree with that take. That he's making.
I'm being
here.
hyperbolic. But
Yeah.
it's not that far from what he said. I mean, he's called every Israeli an accomplice in genocide and an occupier.
It's like freaking out. It's like freaking out when the Iranian leadership like fucking burns an American flag or whatever and be like, they hate us. They're gonna come for us. They're gonna kill all of us. Like there is no conversation to be had here that is like serious because.
Bro, I just disagree. I mean, you were telling me today how much influence I have. Why does it not matter that people use this?
The
kind of
influence
fucking
you
language?
have is upon
This
your
man has
fan
influence.
base. The influence you have
And
upon
that
your
doesn't matter?
The influence you have upon your fan base was specifically in regards to Okay, let me dial it back.
What is funny is that Ethan is sort of making the point people like Hasan would make. That's exactly the point he's making, because the difference is that Ethan, even though Ethan has done and said a lot of dumb shit, I actually think Ethan, even though he's not consistent about what he said in the past, as he is now, he's consistent with his current beliefs. I think regardless of you being left or right, he probably holds the same beliefs. Now, he'll probably be less charitable to people on the right, that's for sure. I don't think anybody can deny that. But he's being consistent in saying that, look, if people on the right can influence people, people on the left can influence people. If you're saying that I am an influence to my fan base and other people, why is this guy not an influence to his fan base and other people?
No, yeah, and like what I brought up earlier, like Hasan and Ethan would go after channels with 100,000 subs and say that they're influencing the alt-right, that they're making more racist. So like, why can't a channel with or I'm sorry, not a channel, but like someone with like 6.6 million followers or whatever you call it, right? He has millions of people agreeing with his takes on situations, and he's influencing their opinion.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Of course, I can't
something.
explain.
This is a basic
Like
fundamental
I'm
that I
sorry,
believe in.
I can't expect him to not be like pro for this, because remember, his uncle is the one who started the Young Turks, a name literally, by the way, given to the extreme Turkish militias who would massacre Armenians.
Right. Hasan is just like, it's hard to watch this guy.
Believe that our culture and our attitudes are entirely reflected on the material realities on the ground, that our material realities guide our culture and our attitude towards certain things. I don't believe that you can move the needle in the other direction. I don't believe that you can tweet a revolution. As a matter of fact, many people
I don't like the YouTubers are influencers argument. The thing with the YouTubers are influencers argument is there are two ways to look at it. There is the way that people like Hasan and Ethan look at it, probably more so Hasan, where like if someone in your audience does it, it's 100% your fault because you influence them. I don't know where any of these fucking keys are. Then that like if someone in your audience does something, you're 100% at fault. I don't believe in that, obviously. But when you do something, you do inherently influence your audience in a certain way, right? Like, I'm sure most of Destiny's audience is going to agree with him because he is an influence to that audience. It's the same thing with any audience. Like, there are times where your audience is going to disagree with you, no doubt. But for the vast majority of things, if you give an opinion or a take on something, your audience is going to agree with you. I'm changing games. I don't know how to beat this level. All right, let's continue.
Hashtag activism and whatnot, but I do think that it goes in the opposite direction. I do think that you can't, make a super sweet YouTube video that ends up destroying the white supremacist court structure in the United States of America. However, I do believe that if you go in the other direction and promote more of the state-sponsored violence, you absolutely can motivate people to feel more justified and demand more from their governments.
Which is what he's doing,
to do this.
right?
So if and only if there was a real, legitimate, well-established military machine that was capable of going and fucking killing every single Israeli citizen, like you said, he is justifying for, this would be as damaging as the average Israeli defense of the Israeli.
But with that, I'm like, what came first? Did Destiny influence people to align more with his beliefs, or did people come to Destiny because it's a little bit of both, right? Like, if I have a certain take on something, even if my audience even if most of the people in chat right now agree with something I say, they might have found me and I'm just primed to be someone that they agree with, or I could make an argument that influences you guys to agree with an opinion I have, right? Like when two people debate, you're going to listen to their arguments and inevitably you're going to kind of fall on one side. Now, whether you were on that side to begin with or whether the arguments made influence you towards that side, it depends on the person. I do think whatever you say and do has an influence on our audience. I do think that influence is very minor. Like I would say it's like when it comes to influence levels, I'd give it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I don't think the influence is major, but I think you're dumb to say that the influence isn't there, right? Like I don't think iDubbbz made his audience racist, right? But were there some people that came to iDubbbz that were already racist? Probably. But iDubbbz never made content that was directly racist. So I don't think anything he did would influence people to be more racist. Now, would he have influenced people to be more edgy? 100%. I think that 100% he made people more edgy. But I don't think he influenced anybody to be racist, right? I think that's kind of like the difference. I don't know if I'm being as coherent as I mean to be.
Well, also too, like because look at like Tommy's shot from the point, right? He was influenced and inspired by Howard Stern's show in order to do his stuff. Now, obviously, if you ever look at Howard Stern's show and Tommy's, it's not 1-to-1, right? And they don't say the same exact stuff, especially nowadays. But I mean, influences can affect stuff. It's just not to the degree that people like Hasan like to say it is.
Yeah.
And but
sorry.
If he is one to believe that like when you if you influence stuff, you 100% manipulate your audiences, right? And he said that about like, again, way smaller channels that apparently they influence people to become the alt-right. But like people with millions of followers on the left can't influence.
All I'm saying is I'm right and Hasan is wrong.
This would be as damaging as the average Israeli defense of the Israeli occupying force. Only then.
I just find it odd.
And
that you
even
have to
then,
do the
and
whole what
even
about
then,
thing about this.
but Ethan, even then, there is no comparison because guess what? What he is saying as a singular YouTuber is represented by our elected leaders, is represented in the reality on the ground in the way that Israel is continuing its occupation and its bombing campaign in Gaza, which is why I think it is utterly and entirely a distraction to have assessments, to make assessments
I mean,
over.
Listen, I'm sorry that I care about it. I guess I'm just an emotional fucking idiot.
I'm not
for caring
saying that
about
at all. I perfectly understand why you care.
It's important to me.
I understand why you care about it.
I disagree with that premise.
I think you should have him on
But
to
clearly
ask
you
him.
disagree with
I think you should
his
have him on to
premise.
ask him because I personally disagree with this assessment.
Yeah.
And I think it's unhelpful and unproductive
Yeah,
overall.
okay.
But
we agree. But I think he's evil.
But I also will point once again that what he's saying here is the Israeli policy in the other direction. It has been the reality in the other direction.
Which is not good.
I know you don't agree with that, but I'm saying because you don't agree with that, it is.
This is the main problem I'm having with all this stuff.
I know that's the main problem you have with all this stuff, and that's why I'm trying to say it's not even remotely a point of contention, and it's not even remotely equivalent, and it's not even remotely.
I don't think people should be
have this conversation.
This guy's way too comfortable just going out there publicly and being applauded.
What do you think is the solution here? What should be done with him for saying that?
What criticism doesn't stand on its own? Why do I need to like be punitive?
No, you said you're upset. I mean, I think you're well within your right to be.
Criticizing.
Critical.
I'm criticizing. I'm not asking for.
I think you're well within your right to be critical of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Criticize this fool hard. You too, Hasan. Base. These people must also be targeted. Hasan literally says nothing of worth. True. I can see that Ethan is annoyed though. That's funny. Is it muted? What is happening? Oh, I thought I said I'd hop off for a second. I'm back though. Hasan swatted Mike. No. Oh, thank God, no. Ethan is literally doing something about it by criticizing the tweet though. Yeah, look at how that, because that's the way Hasan's mind works. Is like Hasan can criticize people all day, all he wants. But if you criticize someone else, it's like that's how how Hasan is acting right now. The way he is acting is the exact way he acts when people criticize him. That's why he's taking so much offense to it. Because Ethan's not even criticizing Hasan here. He's criticizing his friend. But because Hasan clearly agrees with his friend, even though he's saying he doesn't, Hasan definitely agrees with his friend. So he's taking it personally, and he's like, "Oh, what do you think should be done?" And Ethan's like, I can't just criticize him. Like, why does anything need to be done? Like, I don't know what Hasan expected Ethan to say. This guy should be banned. Like, I'm pretty sure Ethan is for free speech for the most part. I know he's done some dumb, stupid shit regarding that, specifically regards to Keemstar. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure Ethan is for free speech.
Within your right to
I'm
be
criticizing.
critical.
I'm criticizing. I'm not asking for.
I think you're well within your right to be critical of it.
Yeah.
Like I said though, I will reaffirm my position that if he was saying this about Palestinians instead of Israelis, that would not only be not condemned at all by a singular person, that would be the specific policy position of the entirety of the Western world.
Israelis and the Western world are monsters, then we shouldn't care when the opposite people are monsters, because it
not
doesn't
necessarily.
Matter.
I think because
seems like what you're arguing.
No, that's not what I'm saying, because I don't agree.
That
with
is what he's saying.
Why does it matter?
That is exactly.
That's exactly what he thinks
pointed out for the evil it is. Like, why does it? I just don't understand the need
for already. Any issue to be taken up with Westerners and the optics of like what they are saying should be talked about with respect to the impact that those words will have. Which is why I said, if you think that this
By the
is,
way, kudos to Ethan.
genuinely going to be
He's really
impactful,
trying his
then
best to keep his cool here,
then
because clearly he
that's
does see
another
Hasan as like a
conversation.
legit friend.
Man, I wouldn't say it doesn't matter. But anyway, clearly you don't agree, and that's just my opinion on the guy.
I do not agree with his assessment. Yes.
And so let's see. Moving on to, I mean, we've talked about.
But I think you would agree with his assessment if he was talking about settlers in the West Bank, though, right?
I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say that, you know,
kill babies in the West Bank. Of course, you wouldn't say that.
But like theoretically, I don't think settlers are civilians.
They're not.
But
They
he's
are not
talking about
recognized
all
as civilians by international law. They are technically considered terrorists.
That's an important
I agree.
distinction that he's not making.
The distinction that he is making is that he's going by, he's talking like it's 1952. You know what I mean? That's the difference. And it's not 1952.
Why say that? Why even say that? That's such a stupid thing to say.
Thank you.
That doesn't mean anything.
You know,
You're
we were
saying
talking
nothing.
about, let's see. Man, this video's sick, dude. Again, I know you're going to say this is just like a small rally that happened, but there is a certain level of comfort. I mean, this doesn't seem like a small rally, frankly. There's a lot of people out here, and they're just out there, and here's the speech that one of the organizers has to say.
Oh, is this? Oh my God, is he going to talk about the guy that was like, yeah, they sent guys in paragliders and they electrified those hippies, or they were like super happy about the attack on the fucking festival?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, by the way, that festival, you know, as dumb as hippies are, that was in jest for like, I'm sorry, it was meant to be a peaceful festival to promote peace for both sides.
Yes.
And they got slaughtered.
Yeah, let's see if what
For no
Hasan has to
reason.
say about this. Yeah, it's not good. That's my prediction.
Not
It's not good.
About the
What is
Hamas.
this?
Oh, you haven't seen this?
I can't see. Well, first of all, I can't see anything
full
because I don't have
screen it.
my
I'll-
fucking goddamn
sorry.
glasses. I
Here,
forgot.
I full screen it.
But also, secondly, I mean, yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is gonna be.
Well, it's crazy. It's crazed. But listen to what this guy has to say.
Broke through the fence. They put the F-35 on
What is he saying?
You'll hear it. It's a little fuzzy right now. Here.
And as you might have seen, there was some sort of rave or desert party where they were having a great time until the resistance came in electrified hang gliders and took at least several dozen hipsters.
Hipsters, not hippies, my
And I'm
bad.
sure they're doing very fine.
Woo.
But nobody had seen this coming. Every Israeli official said it was a complete surprise. And I think we have to sit with that. Because as of just a couple days ago, they said that surprise wasn't possible. They said we control every inch of Palestine.
No, they don't!
They said we have walls, we have cameras, yes, we have traitors too, and there's nothing they can do that we won't see of what we do.
Like, okay, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm for this happening, you know, the right to do this, the right to have free speech like this.
Oh yeah.
But to be so comfortable to say this shit about people that were just killed that are not a part of, like, that they're just civilians, to be this happy cheering about it is like, to not feel any sort of embarrassment or anything is so fucking disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting. 100% respect your right, but I should have the right to fucking do a counter protest and be like, woo, now we can get gay rights to the people in the Gaza Strip, right? It's
Woo,
like,
Black Lives Don't Matter.
ew.
No, and that's a thing too. Okay, I just want like it's gonna be an uncomfortable subject, but I just want to bring it up. Middle Eastern people do not like black people. They do not.
Dude, but this guy,
Even the ones that are black.
but this guy's an ally. You don't
Whoa.
understand.
And yeah, Gaza people are really gonna see them as like allies. I get it. Like it's really edgy and cool to be like anti-government. Trust me, I am for the most part anti-government on a lot of stuff. But just because you're like, well, guess what? I think my government's bad too. Ha ha ha. Doesn't mean you're saved from the slaughter.
Yeah. Oh shit.
They were so arrogant. But just less than 24 hours ago, on the land, from the sea, and from the air, the people of the Gaza
Woo! Yay!
People from Gaza, our young people are riding their bikes through these settlements where they were told they could never go because of apartheid.
Like, what is
Wait,
the
they're saying
delusion
it's
here? It's like
apartheid?
now. Well, he's saying like now, thanks to this attack, the people that were like brought down can finally ride their bikes, and he's about to be like, the farmers can now get tractors because they wouldn't let them get tractors before. Which I don't know how true that is, but if it's true, then that is really kind of fucked. But like, you understand, the people of Gaza are not getting any of this shit back, right? They're gonna get fucking bombed to shit because of this attack from Hamas. I hope you understand that. Your farmers are gonna fucking be killed, and I'm not cool with that. I'm not okay with that happening, but that is gonna be the result of this happening. Like, I don't know what the delusion is here.
This is what happens like when radical regimes try to take over land, and if they are successful at it, they slaughter anyone who they even think is opposition. Okay, and they usually start with like obviously high-ranking politicians, and then the farmers start getting picked off too.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to find something.
Oh my god, I'm just gonna send you this real quick. Def Noodles got blocked for sending a meme at Hasan.
That's funny. Yo, what's up, Toxic?
And,
Alright, let's see. I'll open this up.
Whoa. Mike got swatted again. Rip.
Did I get swatted again?
I mean, check your doors.
Again.
Why? What? What are you talking about? Why are you guys trying to swap me? Wait, did I disconnect for a bit?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, don't tell me. Did he just delete that? Hang on.
I guess. Okay.
Oh, no,
I think
there
it's
you go.
showing for everybody. I guess it hit way too close to home. Maybe he's praying for Israel to stop. Justin Bieber posting praying for Israel using disavow Hamas being anti-Semite. True. All right, let's continue. Oh, from what I just checked real quick, it looks like the panel that they did at Comic-Con was just to reveal like 2 new suits. So I thought they were gonna reveal a bunch of suits, but I guess not. So whatever. I'll just look at that later. All right. No Spider-Man news, y'all. All right, let's continue with this.
Rip.
By the way, we're gonna end this stream in like 30 minutes, so we're not gonna be able to finish this whole thing, but we're gonna pretty much do most of it.
Our farmers, the farmers of Gaza, you know they say that they can't even have tractors. They say that's terrorist equipment. Well, unfortunately for them, the tractors of these various so-called kibbutz settlements have been liberated and taken back to the farm.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what's gonna happen, you fucking idiot.
I mean, that's insane, right?
I don't even. Yeah. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't.
just criticizing people. You don't. You're
Yeah,
not
and?
you're not comfortable.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
I mean, I have no.
I mean,
have
he
no,
was just like, I don't like this shit.
Okay.
It bothers me.
I understand why. I
Yeah.
understand
He
why you
goes,
don't
the
like this.
electrified hang gliding heroes flew in and killed a bunch of hipsters partying. They were having so much fun at the party till these fucking heroes showed up and mass murdered everyone. Oh, and we liberated the kibbutz, by the way. Everyone's cheering. We
Okay.
liberated the kibbutz, aka beheading babies.
I will once again present to you the same exact question. If this rally was not held and if he had not said those things that I do not agree with,
So I would love it if Ethan said, okay, so if someone held a rally where there were a bunch of alt-right Nazis, and it was this and they were saying, "Woo, we love Hitler," is that cool? Would you not care about that? Like, what is this logic? Oh, yeah, okay, so what difference? Like, a bunch of Nazis gathering together to do a little protest like that, that's not really going to affect anything realistically. Okay, is that not still worth criticizing? Like, what? Hasan is fucking
Rules for
and what's disgusting is that
but not for me.
What's disgusting is Hasan can only say, "Yeah, that's bad. What difference does it make?" Because he can't go full in on what he really believes because he's too much of a fucking coward to say what he really thinks to Ethan because he doesn't want to ruin this fucking podcast.
No, yeah, if this was like an individual Hassan stream, he'd be off the cuff. I guarantee he would be off the cuff saying as much as he wants to right now. I mean, does anybody remember the clip from last year when the Ukrainian war started? And he's like, Hitler wasn't bad because he invaded places. He was bad because he killed
Yeah,
the
because
Jews.
he was justifying Russia's invasion on Ukraine because it's like, well, a lot
Again,
of people,
anti-imperialist, by the way, guys. He's an anti-imperialist.
In the Ukraine actually have ties to Russia, as if that even matters.
do you think that there would be a difference in the analysis and the way that Palestinian people are treated? Do you think that there would be a difference in the bombing campaign that's going on, or do you think that this is once again the violent sentiment of those who are siding with the oppressed that is ultimately
I don't know,
utterly
about that,
and
but I'll tell you-
entirely inconsequential?
I'll tell you this.
Because
I know
all
that's
this
fucking
does,
evil.
all this does,
I know that.
all this does,
and I have no problem to
is
say it.
all this does is to serve a singular purpose, and that purpose I do not believe you are on board with, but that purpose is cynical. When people go, look at these guys, they're all violent. That is, by design, what mainstream media in America is doing when they constantly, exclusively cover the Palestinian side.
That's not what I've done
specifically
here
about like
today.
these guys. I know you're not doing
I've just
that.
spent 2.5 hours talking about.
Even I know.
So I just want to listen. I
know
just
you're
want to
not
say
doing
this
that.
guy's evil. He is. He's an evil dude. There's just, you know what I mean? Like, fuck this guy and fuck all these people. That's just not it, man. And once again, this is right after. This is right after it all happened.
Yes.
And we're talking about the hang gliding heroes. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's sick, and I think it needs to be called out. I don't think it's good to normalize this kind of shit.
We should keep calling it out. We should only call this out, which is what many are doing. Whenever there's any mention
not.
of, I
But
know
we're
you're
talking
not.
about us.
I know you're not.
Yeah.
But this is why I'm like, there's not
I'm calling
a single
both out.
There's not a single outlet that ever legitimately shows
I don't belong to those networks.
the ongoing and never-ending plight of
Bro, I'm calling out-
Palestinians.
I'm just
and
trying to
only
call
talk
out
about
both
Palestinian activists
sides.
like this. They show these pieces of
And
footage
and how
go,
dishonest
"Look
is that?
violent-"
Hold on. How much time did he spend? I guess we missed that whole part. He spent like 2 hours covering all the shit that Israel has done and all the shit that's happened to the Palestinians. And now this is his second thing that he's criticizing. He has not done that much. This is the second thing he's criticizing. And Hasan can't even he's like, okay, but yeah, what does it matter? You know, it's like, okay, does this make any difference in like the real world? It's like, and it's like,
No, yeah, and I bet you if we go back and watch the 2 hours of them criticizing Israel, I bet you he was like, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
no, he was. I saw a little bit of it. He was totally into that part, but now he's like, oh yeah, you know, that's kind of bad. It's like, fucking coward, bro.
These guys are. Look how violent the left is overall. These guys are all leftists. Look at them. They're leftists. They love terror. They love terrorism. And we are talking about this in a country where like there is no, like the guy you brought up, JT, okay, who I disagree with on that front. He has had the Department of Homeland Security visit his home for his for a YouTube video that he wrote. No, not for that. It was a YouTube video that you would agree with if you watched it. It was about the Department of Homeland Security in and of itself. I believe it was something about the CIA. Like there is no real legitimate, genuine, and continued support for Palestinians, and there's no legitimate, real, and continued leftist momentum happening.
Excuse me.
Especially one that is like associated with any kind of tangible move on the ground. So that is why it is, frivolous to have this endless back and forth that already is happening all over mainstream media. There's no, especially in America, they don't bring up like Mohammed al-Kurd, whose home was violently seized. They don't have him on to talk about these issues. They just go, look at these crazy.
I don't think. Listen, I don't think a 30. I don't mean this. I don't think this monologuing is essential to calling this guy evil. That's all.
All right. Are there more wrongs committed by Americans who are speaking on Palestine that we can go through? I'm down to go through more of it if you have more.
Look how salty he is.
This is a massive.
Are there more Americans?
No, yeah,
he's so fucking mad. He is such a man baby. Holy shit.
On Palestine that we can go through.
I want to. You know what? You know what? I want to get fit and built just so I can have the build to challenge us onto a fight. Fuck this guy. Jesus Christ. But you know what? He's probably way taller than me too, so we couldn't actually fight. But this guy would never like, oh yeah, remember the Sam Hyde shit? Didn't this guy like constantly say he wanted to beat up a Nazi, and yet he never he wouldn't accept Sam Hyde's fight?
I'm down to go through more of it if you have more.
This is a massive rally in Sydney, Australia. And again, we bring up the issue
that's
of
a lot of people.
It's inconsequential. Well, according to this massive rally outside the Sydney Opera House,
oh my God, they're going to play the clip
between Israelis
is this
and
the
Jews.
Gas the Jews clip?
I'll play it for you.
Yes, let's go.
Gas the Jews.
Yeah, buddy.
Based.
Oh, look at it. It's Arabic people.
Look, I see PewDiePie.
Okay, well, that's okay. Yeah, that's bad. But do you think that this will actually affect things over there? Like, it's not even fuck Israel. It's just the Jews. It's all of them.
Etc. Etc.
This is the out of everything that you've shown me, this is demonstrably the worst. Like, because this has genuine impact on the ground in whatever nation that we're talking about. That is
Australia.
Unequivocally and uncritically anti-Semitic, completely indefensible. No.
Ethan is literally just saying this guy sucks, bro, and Hasan is like, but what does that do? Yeah, like Ethan's not even saying this person should be banned or this person shouldn't have.
He's criticizing.
He's just criticizing them, and Hasan's having like a whole hissy fit over it. But thank you for the $5, Teddy.
No additions to that
Can I ask you a
whatsoever.
question then?
What?
Let's say that one of this,
and that does lead to, I think, furthering anti-Semitic, and not only is it unproductive, but that does, I think, lead to a real and tangible impact on the ground.
So let me ask you this.
What's up?
A fan of Second Thought who's listened to him dehumanizing Israelis that way, do you think that listening to him might inspire one of those people to be like, hey, I'm going to go join this,
What, Hamas?
Well, no, I mean, it's a according to it's a pro-Palestine.
You think a fan of Second Thought is going to see? Okay, let's walk through it. You think a fan of Second Thought is going to see that and be like, I'm going to go to Gaza. I'm going to join Hamas.
That's not what I said. I said he's going to go down to the Upper Sydney at this location and be like, hey, yeah, fuck, let's gas the Jews. Everyone's saying it. Nobody seems to care.
I guess it could happen. Certainly.
Okay.
But once again, I mean, this is fucking gross, by the way, 100%. It's just ridiculous.
Wow, thanks.
Thanks, Hasan.
There's no, it's disgusting. What I was going to say is, I'm still thinking about a Second Thought YouTube fan being like, I'm going to go rise up in the global jihad and rise up against Israel.
You notice how he's not doing he's ignoring what Ethan is saying. Ethan is saying, do you think a fan of Second Thought could, let's say a hypothetical fan of Second Thought that lives in Australia wants to join a rally like this, and he's inspired because of Second Thought's things? That's not crazy to say that could happen. No, it 100% could happen. That's something like if Ethan was saying, oh, do you think a fan of Second Thought would end up joining Hamas? It's like, yeah, that's actually ridiculous. Nobody would think that. But going to a rally, that's not crazy at all. How many YouTubers and streamers influence people to go to Black Lives Matter rallies? And you know, there's nothing wrong with going to Black Lives Matter rallies. Most of them were fine, but some of them went crazy. You know.
Well, you know, they're fierce but peaceful.
Most of them, yeah. I
keep in
mean, I had a few friends that went to a few of them, and I think there was only one time they said that shit went crazy. But according to them, they said that the cops started it in that instant. And that was a friend I trusted, so, you know, I don't have a reason to doubt them. But yeah, like, there were a lot of protests that were just literally protests. They didn't go too crazy. Obviously, I'm not denying the ones that went crazy. Because we all saw those. The infamous, this is a intense but mostly peaceful protest with a fucking fire literally behind them. It's like, I don't know about that, buddy. But, like, yeah, like, do you not think, like a fan could, like, bro, like, I don't know. I think Hasan is being, like, obtuse on purpose.
I understand that.
May
you think
Allah
that-
guide my weapons.
I understand you think it's silly.
I do.
But again,
I do think it's
I'm
silly.
responding to your point about how none of this matters, and I disagree with that premise. I do.
Yeah, that guy.
This is how I'm picturing
He's
it,
like,
but that was
it's time to do a jihad against Israel and all the Jews.
You're not, yeah, but that wasn't my point. He's just going to join the rally.
Let's be serious.
And it's interesting because Ethan's team, or at least his
think that-
producer, strongly agrees with Hasan.
I actually think he agreed with. So he did agree with Hasan on the communist stuff and the China stuff. I think on this specific thing, I feel like he's probably more in the middle. I don't think he's exactly on Ethan's side, but I don't think he's exactly on Hasan's side. I think he could be influenced either way, honestly. But he's also obviously a big Hasan fan, so he's more primed to. Jesus Christ, this guy's blocking all my hits. Aren't these arguments that they use when someone who they believe leans to the right makes an edgy joke? This is the same argument they would use for PewDiePie doing the death to all Jews joke. Which, by the way, even I wouldn't deny that could have, like, bad implications and lead to bad things. I just don't think, at the end of the day, like, it was clearly a joke based on, like, everything around it contextually. But even I wouldn't deny that that could have, like, bad results, you know?
That conflations, no matter who's doing it, of anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism are very dangerous. And I think that saying that, saying anti-Semitism is like "fuck the Jews" when you're talking specifically at a anti-Israel rally or pro-Palestine rally is really fucked up, completely unacceptable. And I don't know what else to say about it other than of course I condemn that. That is, I mean, there's always people that try to sneak in little anti-Semitic shit in my chat all the goddamn time. Whenever I'm talking about these stuff, they're like, "Ooh, why do you think the American media turns a blind eye to this? Maybe because they own it." And I'm like, "Okay, motherfucker, Jews don't own the media. Wasps do. Okay, so shut the fuck up." Like, there is always going to be people that try to take advantage of these sorts of things.
For white people.
And ultimately, the reality on the ground is unchanging, and the opinion of our
White American
governments
Southern
are
people.
unchanging on
That's what it stands for.
what do you call it? The way that we turn a blind eye to one side of the atrocities and also completely justify the reaction that the state engages in. But yes, I
All
do
that
think
being
that could lead
true,
to. I do think that that is anti-Semitic, and that will lead to anti-Semitic sentiment.
Yeah.
spreading. It is
I'm
completely
gonna speed this up a
unacceptable,
little
and it
more.
should never be normalized, and it should be fought against.
That's
That
all
is
I'm
not
trying to do.
That is
man.
not what
You know.
that is not what being a defender of Palestine is about.
Right.
It is not what being a defender of the emancipation of all people is about. It's completely ridiculous.
And so here, this is one more. This happened in Brighton, in England. I'll just play it real fast. Another rally.
Dude, there's gonna be. It's like that dude who like. There's some random fucking guy who like who like Googled swastika and like pointed.
Yeah,
it at
I'm not
the fucking,
showing that one because that one's silly. It's just
No,
one
I
dude.
know, but my point is this, right? There are always in every fucking in every kind of protest, there are going to be charlatans, clowns. What matters is not necessarily like the BLM protesters that are saying fucking kill all white people when you find them in a fucking BLM protest. What matters is like the actual action that the state is taking. So that's why I never, for even a singular moment, am ever going to hear the calls of like the ethnic cleansing from like random Kahanis on the ground celebrating Israel's actions against Gaza and be like, wow, this is truly important, because I know that their opinion on the matter is
I'm not
inconsequential.
it's not like this is true.
But
I'm
it's
not
also
making a whole,
policy.
I'm not making like a mountain out of it. I'm just saying that it's fucking gross. And I mean,
Yeah.
do you deny that there's at least there are a lot of people that believe this shit? There are.
Of course, anti-Semitism is certainly a major issue.
And I think it's important to make a good effort to separate the issues.
Yes, I do agree with you, and I do that all the time. But like I said, the reason why I look at this and consider it to be utterly unproductive is because having random charlatans and people who have violent opinions.
Yeah, I mean these are well-attended rallies.
Yeah, but I know.
Yeah, and organizers.
But this does not reflect upon, again, the situation on the ground. It does not reflect on people who are defending.
You know what? I'll say this. I agree.
Okay.
I agree with you.
So
yeah, we don't
exactly.
need to argue about it. I agree.
I have to pee again. God damn it.
Right. I'm
He's
getting
trying to run away to pee.
And I don't know why I'm like, why I have to, you know, I don't know why I'm going through each individual protest to be like, this is bad. This is bad.
Right. Well, we just did it with the.
What?
With the you know, the genocidal monsters who are calling for the death of, you know.
Yeah, we glanced through it, and my point there wasn't necessarily to be like, this is the
You didn't glance through it. You spent like 2 hours on it.
I know that their opinion doesn't matter because the policy is already set. The policy reflects what they're saying. I even told you they're comfortable saying those things because there's no punishment that I even expect them to withstand for those statements because I don't care about their statements. I don't care about the public opinion in that regard. I care more about the actions of governments and what the media is doing. And I think everything that you've shown me thus far is subject to a role reversal that literally is the reality. A role reversal that is actually demonstrably what the media is pumping out.
That's what I agree with, and I've shown both sides, and I just don't understand the insistence that it just doesn't matter because the other side is doing it. You know, it's like, I don't know, man. Fair. I mean, this.
For me, yesterday was a victory. As a Palestinian,
welcome back,
yesterday was a
TC
victory. For freedom fighters and residents to break out of a 15-year blockade so successfully under the inhumane genocide of Israel, it was so beautiful and inspiring to see. It shows us that
Yeah, it's so inspiring.
It shows the world and us from Palestinians.
Guarantee this bitch never has even been to the Middle East.
These acts of resistance, because this is a success.
Yeah, and again, this
like so she's saying this is active resistance. This is like it's happening while this is like on October 7th or October 8th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a displaced Palestinian woman.
Yeah.
Who is
so
you don't know that. She doesn't even have the accent.
She
She clearly has an English accent.
Inspiring and beautiful. She said that.
Okay.
And then she also said.
Didn't you originally maintain the position that like displaced Palestinians are going to have they're going to say things that in the heat of the moment
that she's a displaced
impassioned
Palestinian.
and oftentimes not empathetic to the civilian casualties
English
on the other side.
Like you don't know
I mean,
that.
it's just
that or like someone who moved when they were little.
What really matters too is like, you know, the demons that fucking want to actually kill the Palestinians because this is like the perfect, you know, ammunition.
Well, don't you feel like you're also serving their purpose then when you endlessly talk about the
First of all, not endlessly talking.
Not endlessly, but like
videos.
showing this and like parading all of this. I think that
well, first of all,
again, spend 2 hours beforehand talking about how evil
you know, I'm just
Israel was.
I'm just showing what I've seen that bothers me.
Understand?
Does it help the conservative apparatus? I don't think me watching this now. I mean, these videos are all super viral. I didn't dig this out and put it out into the world.
I know. You know why they're super viral? Because of the things that you mentioned.
Shocking.
Yes. No, the reason why they're super viral is because you're right. It does help present all Palestinians
I think it's super
and
viral
all
because
of
it's
those
shocking.
who are demanding emancipation for Palestinians in a negative light by appealing to the understandable emotions of saying like these are dead babies. You reflect that and you
Beautiful,
show
inspiring.
you're celebrating dead babies. You think that that's a revolutionary act. It's gross and it's disgusting.
Okay.
Right? So that's the major reason as to why these videos get played all the fucking time and the role reversal of said videos is reflected as current existing policy in both the United States and also in Israel. I think so much so that they don't even show in America Israelis who are literally pushing back against the administration and say that the violence is caused directly by the Israeli administration's positions. Like that's how fucking bloodthirsty we are here in the Western world. It is like the condemnations only work in one direction, and I have done it over and over and over again, and I will continue to do so.
Okay, random question, Mike. Did you ever hear of that fucked up Palestine trying to show it was like tomorrow's pioneers? Something. Never heard of that.
So
he knows literally nothing.
Presented
yeah,
with this kind of thing. But the reason why I think this is an unserious or frivolous conversation to be had is because of rallies being conducted, ultimately not yielding any sort of serious results in general, and certainly not on behalf of Palestinians. If you look at the 75 years of brutal occupation.
Right.
Like, and I don't think Palestinians on the ground give a shit either, for the record. Like, they don't, like, this is not going to, if this footage did not exist.
It is going viral,
rally,
but it is shocking, though.
Yes, if this rally did not exist, like, would one singular baby not be obliterated in the Gaza Strip? No. So I don't have I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Or if more, if more rallies existed on the other side of people, because there's tons of counter protesters.
I disagree.
Like the first footage that you showed were literally counter protesters of a rally where people were talking about solidarity with Palestine. Remember the Hanas guy who was like, obliterate all the Jews that we like, move past because I think it's frivolous and inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. Because the American government is going to do what it's going to do, and Israel is going to do what it's going to do, regardless of whatever people fucking say on the ground. And that the overarching consensus view on the Palestinian front, due to things like this being highlighted, and not necessarily the voice of activists who do not say things like this, is already entirely and deliberately on behalf of like all Palestinians being terrorists. It's just, this is why I say it's unproductive, because there is no one who is being promoted in mainstream media as like a good voice for Palestinian people, and those who do actually say, I condemn the violence, but here is the reality of why this violence occurred.
They weren't all Palestinians that I showed, but listen.
No, I know. But,
I understand.
But you understand what I'm saying,
yeah,
right? Like this is a deliberate way in which you look at.
But I also think that
a
this
person or different rallies and you cast a negative light on the entire Palestinian liberation movement. I'm not saying you're doing that.
That's why it matters. Like this
I know, but
stuff all matters.
optics. It's an optics conversation, and in the grand scheme of things, having an optics conversation about like, oh, I can't believe they said this. Look at how violent they are, while simultaneously,
not they. This, you know what I mean? Like I know what you're saying.
Okay, how violent these specific individuals are, but like at a certain point, this doesn't serve any other purpose than
you think Hasan has a soul?
Would do to be like, look at how violent they are.
I think he has a soul, but it's fucking corrupt as fuck by like communist shit. Like he's just a communist fucking
I wouldn't even say it's the communist stuff. I would say, it's all the hookers and Ferraris that he buys,
No, yeah. He's a capitalist. He's a capitalist.
All the haram.
He's a capitalist living in a communist skin. Like he's just a pig. I wouldn't even call. You know what? I was gonna call him a communist pig. He's not even a communist pig. He's just a pig. And it doesn't matter what.
No, yeah,
what
like you know why he truly does not care, because like I think this is one thing he genuinely does believe, is him being pro-Palestinian and anti-Israeli and all that, right? He genuinely believes that. But the reason why he doesn't care a lot of the time, because he knows ultimately it will never affect him.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that is the mechanism of manufacturing consent working in unison. Yes, there are people that say condemnable shit. This does not change my mind on Palestinian emancipation, and it should not change your mind.
No.
If you're watching at home, I know it doesn't change your mind.
But it probably does have an influence on people being more hateful, more dehumanizing to Israelis, and in some extreme cases, anti-Semitic.
Ethan, when you see a video, you're in support of Black Lives Matter.
She says we need to celebrate these acts of resistance.
You're in support of Black Lives Matter, right? You're in support of Black Lives Matter as a movement in general. You are. I know you are.
Okay.
I mean, come on.
This is supposed to be a children's show. Thank you, Teddy. The fuck is this? Oh my god. Skip to 202.
Jesus. Oh my god.
Oh god. Alright, enough of that. Thank you for the $5.
When you see videos when right-wingers in America present videos of Black Lives Matter supporters and activists and even leaders saying, that cop died and it was good that cop died, and they show that and go, look at the situation. These guys are all violent. They all want to fucking kill cops. They all want to kill white people. They show wanton and callous indifference to the death of whites in general. When they show footage like that, does that change your perspective? Do you also think...
Not mine, but maybe Son's.
Okay, it changes some people's perspectives. Do you think that those videos or the weaponization of those videos is what serves a purpose in changing people's minds, in propagandizing them against Black Lives Matter?
Yeah, it's part of why it matters.
No, do you think it's the singular act itself, or is it the propagandizing of and the weaponization of those videos that serve a purpose in creating anti-BLM sentiment?
I don't think it's BLM. You're talking about different situations. I don't even know.
What do you mean?
I don't know if it's comparable. I mean, we're talking about
emancipation.
I mean, they're like, hold on.
And
BLM. We're talking about like riots. We're talking about like breaking into buildings. In Israel, we're talking about murdering 1,500 people, decapitating babies, burning families alive. That she called beautiful. We need to celebrate. So the severity of it is not the same.
Okay. Black Lives Matter is an emancipatory movement to stop the disproportionate killing and targeting and stop the disproportionate killing and targeting of black people in the hands of the police. Right, under a white supremacist criminal justice system, these issues have gone unnoticed for far too long. Palestinian liberation is identical as far as the struggle goes, which is extended beyond the treatment of black people under a white supremacist police force, but literally is a legalized apartheid structure. Okay, so these are both emancipatory causes. Do you think that when people bring up random footage of like Black Lives Matter activists, or even the Hamas thing, the BLM, the BLM Chicago account is like unaffiliated with anything, posting a photo of the Hamas parachuters, right, and saying this is Palestinian emancipation. Do you think that when people do that, they're doing that because they genuinely think like, oh, we need to clean up our message here? Us BLM supporters, we need to clean up our message here.
I think it's more about like influencing not just the people who are there, but also the people who constantly see this kind of language and think that that's the language of like of the resistance, or that's the way that we should be talking about this.
Okay. So the more positive situation in that regard, if you were faced with that, if you were faced with someone showing you this kind of footage, and you as a supporter of Black Lives Matter, you would say, yeah, this is silly, this is ridiculous, right? Like, yeah, it's bad, but also this is not what is reflective of the actual modus operandi of the movement in and of itself, and their cause is just.
I think, I don't know if we're getting lost in the woods a little bit, because I agree with you in that it's not an accurate representation of like the people as a whole. It just bothered me, and I wanted to call it out.
Okay. But you understand why like it can be, not saying you're doing this, but it can be.
All right, we're gonna stop it there. I think we got the point, and I have to go. So thanks for joining me, guys. I'm gonna hop off, and I'm gonna close the stream out. All right, guys. So thanks for watching. I'll be live tomorrow around like 7 p.m. EST. That's when I'll be live. And yeah, we're gonna do a drinking stream tomorrow. You know, $10 a shot, like always. Let me find a song to close today on. Let me see. What do we want to end today on? Cringe? You're cringe, Yuki. Everything you do is cringe. Mike, can you answer my question? Mike, are we gonna do weekly Tomorrow's Pioneers rewatch streams? I don't think we're gonna do that. I don't really think I want to do that. Let's end on the weekend. All right. I think that'd be pretty based. So here we go. Peace out, y'all.